Hello, I'm Sister Kathleen, and it's Easter time, and today actually as I record, it happens to be the 25th anniversary of my father's burial. He was sick with cancer for a while. It was one of those things where the doctors felt the cancer was more or less contained, and but for whatever reason, he was getting worse. He was fading, and he knew it, and we all knew it. And he went into the hospital on Friday before Palm Sunday. They were going to try another kind of chemo. And what seems to have happened is then he started to have a stroke and had over Friday night and into Saturday a pretty massive stroke. And it wasn't realized at first what was going on. By the time, whether anything could have been done to stop it, I don't know. But in any case, by Saturday evening, he was unconscious, and he never regained consciousness after that. And the regular doctor wasn't there, and a partner was on call, which turned out to be a blessing. He was a fellow parishioner of my mother's. He asked her, do you want us to put him on breathing or whatever, something to keep him alive. And of course she was shocked. She hadn't known it was that serious. She tried to call me, but she wasn't able to get hold of me in the monastery. Anyway, she asked the doctor, what would you do? And he said, well, if it was someone in my family, I wouldn't, because he knew he was going to die. So the family gathered. Most of us got there by Palm Sunday. And very early in the morning, Tuesday of Holy Week, my father died. And that's complicated for having a funeral. We wanted to have a Mass. He certainly would have wanted a Mass. But it's Tuesday. The family is coming from all over the country. And the more distant relatives, the immediate family was there. And you can't have a Mass on Holy Thursday. Our pastor was very good to us, and he let us have the wake Wednesday afternoon and the funeral Mass Wednesday evening. We left my father's body in church overnight and had the burial on Holy Thursday morning. So it was really quite beautiful. And actually it was a kind of, sudden though that stroke was, it was a kind of blessing because it really spared my father and my mother along with him probably months of suffering with a cancer that wasn't going to go away. So one thing that I remember though was the priest was a good friend of our family. He's probably the priest we were closest to. He served in our parish when he was a seminarian and was a wonderful person. But I remember after the funeral, my brother said to me, he said, Father didn't mention the resurrection. He says, see, even he doesn't believe in it. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's how it struck him, because something wasn't said about the resurrection. He's concluding that the priest doesn't believe in it, which of course was not true. But nevertheless, I was struck. My brother expected or hoped for maybe some mention of the resurrection, something to increase his own faith. So I thought that was an interesting, that really struck me. Maybe we don't speak enough about the resurrection and don't witness to it enough. As you may know, in the Orthodox Christianity, I mean capital O Orthodox, they had this beautiful custom on Easter of greeting one another with, "The Lord is risen," and the response is, "He is truly risen." And I could wish we would all adopt that. It seems like a wonderful, wonderful practice. Not too long ago, I saw something on the internet. It was an interchange between a couple of people who were, you could tell, good people, deep thinkers, with good moral sense and a real concern for humanity. And one of them was commenting to the other that, but they were not people of faith. One was commenting to the other that we sort of, people nowadays, with the demise of religion as he saw it, people lack what he called a grand narrative. There's no grand narrative. And I would have loved to be able to say to him, but what if the resurrection really happened? What if Jesus really rose? Have you ever considered that? So in this Easter time, I would just like to encourage us all to, as much as we can, to be messengers of the resurrection, to share with one another, he is risen, rejoice. He is truly risen. It really happened. And what is it that we're proclaiming? Well, it's not just, well, the disciples went off and at some point they suddenly had some great ideas. They just sort of experienced Jesus. And it was more than that. It was not just some great intuition. They saw the Lord. That's the proclamation in the Gospels. I've seen the Lord. Or the Lord has risen and appeared to Simon. So I'd just like to encourage us, all of us, this Eastertide, to proclaim to one another, even in words, the Lord is truly risen. Happy Easter.